Well, a couple weeks ago you see me do a review on the brush cutter from a company called PROYAMA. They sent that to me and I tested it out and I liked it so much I ended up turning around and I bought the blower off of Amazon. Anyways, I just wanted to test it out because I do have a backpack blower. It's an Echo brand and it's a good blower, but not all the time do I feel like putting on a backpack blower. If I just want to blow the back patio off or the front porch off, I don't want to put on a backpack blower and all that. It's just too much. So I thought, well, I'll get me a little handheld blower, and if it's every bit as good as the brush cutter that PROYAMA sent me, that it should be pretty good. So anyways, this thing here comes in under $110 on Amazon, so I thought, let's try it out. That's not much money. I'm gonna go ahead and do the unboxing for you guys. I just got it in the mail 2 days ago. Now this is supposed to be like a 3-in-1, where it's got like a blower, a vacuum, and then a mulcher all in one. Now the problem is right now is not the time to be doing a review on a blower because I don't have very many leaves, but we'll try to do the best we can with it. But I know here in another month or two we're going to start getting some leaves, and I'm just trying to prepare. So whenever you get it, it's going to be set up just like this. There's going to be plastic around the blower and everything's going to be tucked in there nice and neat. Now if any of you are interested in the product, I'll put a link to it down in the description. I am an Amazon affiliate. You know, if you do buy it from the link, I might get $1, maybe $2 for it, something real small, but hey, every little bit helps. And I just wanted to make mention, this is a model number PHB26V. Alright, so I went ahead and pulled everything out of the box, and you can see there's a lot of stuff that come with it. You know, you get a lot for your money with PROYAMA. That's one reason why I just went ahead and said, yeah, I'll go ahead and buy the blower, because you know, you get a ton of stuff. It comes with your 26cc, which is 1 horsepower motor. It's supposed to have some sort of easy start technology on it. You know, I don't know, I've never used it, so I can't really comment on that part just yet. Anyways, it comes with a manual. It comes with a little harness, and the reason why you want the harness is because whenever you're doing the leaf collection, when you're sucking them up, you know, that bag gets pretty heavy. So the bag here, it's like made out of a fabric bag, and they said that you know, it's 10 gallons. And they said that when you're mulching with it, that you can suck up and consolidate 16 of those bags down to 1. I went ahead and pulled everything out of the box, and I gotta say, you know, with PROYAMA, you get a lot of attachments and extra stuff with it. And so, you know, that's one reason why I said I'll just go ahead and buy the blower, just simply because it's a lot of tool for the money. So anyways, it comes with the motor here, and it's a 26cc. That equates out to like 1 horsepower, and it's supposed to have some sort of easy start technology. I don't know, I've never used it, but it does have some really cool features. I'll try to show those to you. But you know, that is your motor, and then it comes with, you know, an attachment that hooks up to the end of the blower there, and it's got a flat attachment that kind of tapers down from round to more of a flat, and then you have more of a elbow that's bent up, and it's round on the end. So if you're blowing leaves and stuff, this would probably be better for that. You can test it out, see which one works best for you. And then you've got a thing to mix your fuel and your oil. If you don't want to mix up a whole gallon, you can just mix it right here. And I know you guys can't see that, but it's got all the markings on there, so you know where to put the oil, know where to put the gas. And then you've got a scrinch here, and what that is just a tool to be able to change your spark plug. Your spark plug is right here on top. You see right there, that's where you get to your spark plug. It's easy to get to. And then the other end, it's got a Phillips head screwdriver. And what you can use that for is whenever you put these attachments on, they hook on right here. There's a Phillips head there. So whenever you twist them on, you lock them in place with that. You got a 2-in-1 tool. You've got this harness right here, and the reason you got this harness is because you've got this bag. The reason you want a harness for the bag is simply because this is a 10-gallon bag. So they said in the instructions that you could take and get 16 bags worth of stuff down to 1 bag by using the mulching feature that this blower has. And anyways, you'll definitely want some sort of harness to connect to this, because I'm sure it's going to be pretty dang heavy if you're trying to carry this thing around full. So you would need some sort of, you know, harness to take off some of the weight, and it just goes over your shoulder. So the way that you hook up the mulching part is you take this curved piece, you take the little end, and you unzip the bag here. I went ahead and unzipped it just to save some time. You run this through there like that, and then right here on this end, you know, it's got a little area where you can slide the tube out the hole just like this, and there's some like elastic in there, so you can fit it through there, and it'll be a nice little tight fit. You just run that through there just like that, and since it gets bigger here on the end, it's not going to slip down any further, and you can see that's nice and tight. That ain't going to pull off that, you know, it's got that much further to go, so it's not going to pull off. And then you just take and zip the bag back up, and then this part is ready to go, all but attaching the harness. And then these two big attachment hoses, they just fit together. They got a little notch in it right there, and then a little open part right there, and you just take and kind of just slide them together, and then you twist them till it locks in place. And there's an arrow right there showing you where it needs to be locked into. And then you'll notice that this is cut at like a 45-degree angle, and that'll be important because this will be the part that goes to the ground to suck up the leaves. And then this part here is going to attach to the blower. Now it's going to attach right in here to the blower. What you want to do is just loosen this thumb bolt right here, and you're going to turn it lefty loosey, not righty tighty, until you get it loosened up. So you can see right there, this just pops down. It's spring loaded here on the bottom, so it's wanting to push back up, but you just plop that down. I wanted you to see right in here, but these are your blades. That's what's going to be mulching the leaves up, these little blades right here. And you can tell that they've got a sharp edge to them. There's like, I believe, 3 right in there. The leaves that come in here, those blades will chop it up just like a blender would. Then it's going to shoot it right down into the bag, and that's how you're going to consolidate 16 of those bags down to 1. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and attach that tube, and keep in mind it's kind of hard to do when you're videoing. Once you get it attached, then you just let go like that, and then what you'll do is take and you can hold it like this and suck up the leaves. And then next we're going to attach the hose with the bag. So the first step that you want to do is take your little tool here. It's got the Phillips head on it, and you can see right there at my finger there is a Phillips head screw with a lock washer. You just want to loosen that up, and then go ahead and take it loose, because here in a minute you're going to replace it. So what you want to do next is take and put the hose on, and you can see that it's got an arrow right there. That arrow is telling you to put it right there on that notch. I don't know how well you can see that, but once you slide it up over that notch, then you're going to turn it to the left, and when you turn it to the left, it locks into this little channel here, and then it aligns it up where you can put this little bolt back in there, so that way you don't have this falling off. You know, some of the attachments I've seen on some of the other yard tools, they aggravate the snot out of me because you'll be using it and the hose will come apart or fall off the machine. That drives me crazy, but I do like the design on that. I've got this little Phillips head bolt that holds it in place, so you just tighten that up. Now don't go crazy, it don't need 100 foot-pounds of torque on it. It's just holding that plastic in there, and it's just holding it to the bag so it don't fall off. So now, you know, you've got it pretty much set up. All right, so I know this thing looks funny, but you know, you're gonna be out in your yard working. I was laughing playing air guitar with this thing a while ago, just dancing around the yard for the camera, being stupid for my girlfriend. But you know, this is what it's gonna look like. You got a handle right here, and then you also have a handle right here on the bottom. So I thought that was really cool how they incorporated the base of this and put a handle there, so you know, you can grab a hold of it and start sucking up leaves, and then it shoots it right into this bag. There's going to be no weight of the leaves and stuff on the hoses and the vacuum, so you'll be able to move this freely, but the weight of the leaves is going to be right here on the bag. And it does have an adjustable shoulder strap, so you can, you know, tighten it up, you know, if you need to, just whatever's comfortable for you. But you know, it's got these little carabiner type clips, so you can take it on and off real easy, or you can just go over your head with it. But anyways, that's how that attachment fits on. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and put some gas in it and get this thing running and see how well it runs, and put this thing to work. So a couple weeks ago, I went and got some gas for the brush trimmer, and I put some oil in it. I mixed it a little bit stronger than 50 to 1 for at least the first tank of gas, and that's what I suggest. Always mixing it just a little bit stronger with oil, just because that's that first tank, and you want to make sure everything's lubed up real good and it breaks in right. So I mix it just a little bit stronger than 50 to 1, and I'm gonna go ahead and pour some gas in it. But a little tip for you, I always take and put like a little green tie, like you would tie like tomatoes and stuff up to the steaks. I always wrap one of these around my gas can, so I know this is the one with oil in it. So it might be a tip for some of you guys at home. You might like to do the same thing. But your tank is right in here. Everything is pretty much set up just like all the other blowers and weed eaters. They're all about the same. So I was reading through the manual to make sure that I had the right gasoline, because I've got 87 octane there. And I was reading through the manual and I found a typo in there. It says mix 50 parts of 95 octane regular unleaded petrol to 1 part 2-stroke 50 to 1 oil. So I thought that was pretty funny. 95 octane. They meant to put 87 octane. All right, guys, so before I start it up and all that, I'm just gonna go ahead and pull the spark plug off. That's just the way I am. I like looking at it and tinkering with it, and I just want to make sure everything's right on there. And I'm gonna go ahead and loosen it. Now I gotta say, that thing's on there pretty tight. Wow, that joker was in there. It does say this, well, it's got a Champion RC J6Y in there, but yeah, that's a very common spark plug, and the threads look nice and perfect on the inside of the head right there. So yeah, I always check that just to make sure nothing's stripped out. And I gotta say, they had to be pretty good, because whoever installed that spark plug, man, they put that joker in there. That's just me. I'm always checking the spark plug and seeing if it's got a cheapie in there, if it's got a good brand. But yeah, I was shocked to see that it had a Champion. So anyways, go ahead and put the boot back on there and connect the wire. I wanted to show you right here to start the blower. You want to make sure that the toggle switch is pushed down here in the back. It's got the line showing that it's running, and if you push forward, that's to stop it. So to start it up, push it down here in the back. And then right here, you can see this is your air filter. We can open this up real quick. I like to check that out myself too. I like how it's got just a little thumb hole where you can take it off, don't have to have any tools. You can see it's got just a little foam air filter in there. I'm sure it's reusable, where you can just wash it out in the sink. Put the little lever to the up to choke it, and then push down for the run position, and then to put this back on there, just put it back in place the same way we took it off. It looks like it just catches on the top and the bottom, just like that. Then you put your little thumb screw back in there. When you first start it up, what you want to do is reach up underneath there in the bottom. You can see that there's a primer bulb. I don't know how well you guys can see in there, but there is a primer bulb just past my finger right there. Just reach your finger in there and prime it. It's hard to get a good video shot because my hands are so big, but you just look in there till you see gas, and I finally got gas up in there after about 2 or 3 pumps. I'm gonna crank it for the first time. It's never been cranked, and again, I'm gonna make sure the switch right here is in the right position, and then the choke is in the upward position. Mash the primer bulb, and then you just crank it. There it goes, guys. So I pushed the choke down a little bit. Once I heard it catch, I slowly pushed the choke down, and then now I'm gonna go ahead and push it all the way down. So now it's ready to run. I'll go ahead and hook this over my shoulder. And then you can see I don't have very many leads, but we'll do the best we can. gotta say, man, that thing sucks. Yeah, it does a really good job at sucking them things up out of there. I wished I had more leaves where I could really put this thing to the test, but you know, as you can see, I don't have very many. I'd say here around October, this thing's gonna be getting some good use, but it didn't have any problem sucking them up. I figured it might have a little bit of problems because it rained yesterday, but you know, since there's little clumps here and there, I guess they were light enough to just be sucked up in there. But it did a good job, and the thing's got, you know, enough power to suck it up in there. Now, I wanted to tell you about one more feature I forgot about. You've got a cruise control on here. This little lever right in here, you know, you can take and lock it down. You see the triggers are already depressed, or you can just push it forward and unlock it. But you know, let's say your finger gets tired of holding the thing down and you don't want to run it wide open, you know, you just take and hold that down. Or if you do want to run it wide open, just push it all the way down and it holds it wide open. That way you ain't got to sit there and hold it, and that way you can focus more on controlling the thing rather than, you know, holding the button. And I gotta say, you know, the plastic on this thing, it feels pretty strong. I'm gonna take this off. I'm gonna put that blower attachment on there, and let me show you what's in the bag. I know there's probably not much in here, just simply because I only sucked up a little bit. Oh man, look, I'll just pour it on the ground out here. You know, some of it picked up, and some of it mulched up. So maybe some of the green stuff, it hadn't got brown enough to chop it up fine enough, so it just mostly picked it up. It did tear some of it, but then like that right there, it sucked it up and chopped it. So I guess it works better when the leaves are brown and it mulches it up more. All right guys, so I went ahead and took the mulching stuff off, and it literally took me like 2 minutes to take it off. Just disconnect this hose and then disconnect the other hose and get all that stuff off. It was like 2 minutes to set it up. And then now I'm gonna go ahead and set up the tubes there for the blower. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove that screw, and you're gonna put the tube on that's round on both ends, and it's the same diameter. And then you're just gonna put it in there just like that, and then when you turn it, it's gonna be just like the other one. It'll line up with that bolt hole, just like that right there. And then you put your bolt in there and tighten it up. And then once you get it tightened up with your tool here, then that part is done. Then, like I said earlier, it comes with 2 different tips here on the end. You can have the flat tip, you know, it's flat, kind of tapered down flat, and you can put that one on there, or you can do this one that's angled down. It's got maybe, I don't know, some sort of 15-20 degree angle on that, and it's round on the end, but it's tapered. I guess this is tapered down right there, so it helps force that air. I know this thing's rated at 412 CFM at 200 mile an hour, so you know, it does have a good output for, you know, a blower this size. Now, before I did the review, I wanted to do some comparisons. I went on homedepot.com, and they've got a home light one that's just a blower, and I think it was $50 more. It didn't have that much power. Why don't we put on the flat attachment, because I'm just going to be mostly blowing the porch and stuff off, so I think I'm just going to go with this one. But you can see this one just fits on there the same as the others. It's got 2 little ears that's sticking out right there on each side, and then you just take and line it up just like that and twist it, and it locks into place. So it should be the same as the other one. It should crank up. It's the same. You mash this back towards you, down, and then since it's already warm, it should crank right up. I mean, one thing I do want to say is, if you're like me and you keep the blower over to your right hand side. Keep in mind, when you rev that thing up, it's wanting to suck your pants in. So you might have to hold it away from you so it don't choke the motor out, you know, because it's wanting to suck my shorts in. I'll show you what I'm talking about. See what I'm talking about? That's a pretty strong motor to do that. So I'm here on the front porch, and the way the house is set up, you know, leaves and stuff always collect right here by the front door. I don't know why they designed this place like this, but you know, you can see, you know, I always get a lot of leaves, and that's one reason why I wanted just a little handheld blower where I could just crank it up and it'd be lightweight and go with it. So I'm gonna blow this off real quick. But one thing I can say is it starts up really easy. You don't have to pull on it hard. Say my first impressions with this is not a long-term review, so I can't sit here and say, you know, this thing's going to last 15 years. No, I can't. But what I can say is, you know, it seems like it's made pretty good, and I know the engine runs really good. It idles really good. It starts really good. So, you know, it seems to perform really good. I just wished I had some more leaves where I could really show you that this thing is pretty powerful for a, you know, a handheld blower. Now, I used to have an Echo handheld blower, and I would say this is probably about as strong as the one that I had. It was an older model, but it was still a gas-powered Echo, and somebody had give it to me. I used to have a little lawn care business back in the day, and I had a lady give me an Echo blower. Her husband died, and she didn't want it, and she was like, here, you can have it. So I took it and cleaned it up and got it running. But it was a good one, and lasted for a long time. But then I moved up to an Echo backpack blower, and obviously this doesn't have the power that the backpack blower has, but you know, it's equivalent to some of the other, you know, handheld blowers that I've used through the years, and it does have good power. So like I said, it's 26 cc, and it's rated at one horsepower. It does seem like it's pretty powerful. It didn't have any problems sucking up the leaves for the mulch part. Now I'll be honest, I'm not the kind of guy to go around my yard sucking up leaves. I'll probably just run over them with a lawnmower like every other redneck here in the South. That's what we do. We just run over them with a lawnmower, mulch them up in the yard. But you know, if I've got some up on the patio and it's in the middle of winter and I don't want to pull the lawnmower out, then I might pull this thing out, mulch them, and put the clippings in a compost bin or something like that for the garden. You know, who knows? But most of the time I probably won't be, you know, using the vacuum part of it. Most of the time it'll just be the blower. I'll probably just leave this attachment hooked up, probably won't change it out very often. But as far as the blower part of it, it runs good. It's easy to crank. Now I did see something in the manual or wherever it's at, and it said something about easy crank technology or something, and I do have to admit that. So if you're an older person, you know, or just don't have that arm strength to crank it real good, this will be a good one for you. I gotta say, everything on it works, and it works good. So I'm very pleased with the PROYAMA blower, and I'm very pleased with the PROYAMA brush cutter. For a Chinese company, gotta say, you know, they make pretty good stuff. Anyways, appreciate you guys watching. Hope this video was informative to you, and make sure you check out the link I have for it in the description. Like I said, I am an Amazon affiliate. I don't try to hide it from nobody, but I just wanted to let you know, if you're interested in it and you buy it, you know, I might get a couple of dollars from you just clicking on the link. So anyways, I do that just so people can support my YouTube channel, and it earns me a few dollars here and there. So anyways, I sure appreciate you watching, and again, this is an honest review. You know, you've seen before, you know, companies send me products, but I bought this one just because I like the brush cutter, and I knew it would be a good product. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. See ya.